seller, a house flipper, a businesswoman, a go-getter, a big investor, a goal builder that could teach you to get richer like millions, baby. You really about to fill your savings. You about to have multiple streams to pass your children, baby. Let me teach you to get your credit on track in the long run. You'll make it all back at Catalyst and watch it all psychology black gold firm, but we ain't all black.
What's up, everybody? Happy Money Monday to everybody out there in the Grow Your Money land. It's your girl, Constance Carter, and I am so excited to be here with you today. I was getting ready to say so excited and delighted. I don't know if you guys watch the Fly Nubian Money podcast, but Dr. Sabrina always says, I am so excited and delighted. But I'm really excited to be here with you guys today. It's Monday, and boy, it's been quite a weekend. A lot's been going on politically. A lot's been going on in the news. All kind of shit is going down. It's popping. But today we're going to talk about how to turn that war on drugs into a path of Black wealth. So many of us have, our people have gotten caught up in this war on drugs, but I want to just flip the script and talk about how do we turn that around and how do we make money? You know, there's a scripture that said what the enemy meant for bad, God made for good. So what I want to do is I want to talk about what we can do to turn that around, to actually make some changes. But before we get started, this is the Grow Your Money podcast. And if this is your first time on here, shout out to you. Welcome in. Tell all your friends that we live. I do want to let you know that this is a dialogue and a monologue. What does that mean? That means the way this works is that you got to talk back to me and talk Black to me. Okay. So what I mean by that is I want you to come on live. If you want to come on live here with me and you want to have a discussion that is that, you know, you ain't talking no dumb shit, I welcome you. Come on here. You can come on here live if you want to be seen on camera. If you don't want to be seen on camera, you can come on here. We could just do your audio. But I would love to engage with you. But also your comments and inside the comments, your comments inside the chat is also important because I like to engage. That's why I go live. Going live, I don't want to just be talking to myself. I'm talking to you. This is a dialogue and not a monologue. Okay. First thing. So talk back to me and talk Black to me. If you want to come on here live with me at any time, go to talkblack2me.com so that you can get on here. And if you have any questions you want to talk live, or if you want somebody to see, you know, your opinion or whatever, I would be happy to. I love the engagement. We've had a couple of people on here and it's always been a really good time. Nobody's been disrespectful. It's been all fun. It's been all informative. And so the other thing is the way this works. Can I tell you about the way this works? The way this works is that I need all the Black businesses. If you have a Black business or you know a Black owned business, I want you to put them in the comments. Why is that? Does anybody know why I want you to put them in the comments? It's because it's important that we practice collective economics. I'm going to say that till my face turns blue. Every time I come live, you're going to hear me talk about Black-owned businesses practicing collective economics. It's in my DNA because I want the best for us Black people. I want us to get it together because we can. We have so many things, so many forces coming against us every single day, every single hour. It's like a war on Black people. And so we're going to be insulated, you know, while America is on fire, while all this silly ass shit is going on, while the Epstein files, while Trump is calling for the Epstein files to be released. They're being now after he didn't tickle his name out of here and got him. Okay, they told him we finally got everything redacted. We got everything out of here. We ain't showing. Okay, release him. First it was a hoax. First they were the Biden files. Now I'm going after Obama. Like he just did everything to distract. But now he's going to release the files. But it's, you know, it's just so much bullshit, so much smoke and mirrors. But I tell you, this administration is not the first administration to blow smoke and mirrors, to blow smoke up our asses. You know, this is what they do. This is what politicians do. We just really got a really dumb one in office. And what it's done is it's shine a light on the political process. You know, before everybody was good. All politicians were crooks. They just had decorum. They have what's called decorum. And this guy has no decorum or no couth. And it goes to show you also how uneducated Americans are. You know, if you have, I did a post yesterday. I don't know if you know, 40% of white women own slaves. 40% of the slave owners were white women back in slavery. And I think 54% of the people who voted for Trump, or 54% of white women voted for Trump. So there's a correlation there, right? White supremacy always reigns supreme when it comes to them and their comfort and their privilege. They want to keep their comfort and their privilege. But the other thing that I think is important is that these people are highly uneducated. Most of the people who voted for Trump, either They're very rich or they're very dumb and uneducated. When you have people who are more like in the middle, upper middle class, who have more of an education, who knows how to comprehend some things, they're typically not going to be your Trump supporter unless you are Mr. Brian Stanklin, as I like to call him. There are two people that be on my shit that are Trump supporters, and this is Uncle Ruckus himself, here to troll. So when you have people like that, Brian, I don't know what the hell is his problem. I don't know how he's a Trump supporter. But I do know that a lot of people who voted for him are very uneducated, and it goes to show. Look at this guy. He can't put a sentence together. He's very unintelligent, and they will believe everything. Now they're trying to justify pedophilia. Now they're trying to justify, if he did it, they're, it's 50. It's not like they're 7. It's ridiculous. They will do anything. So, and he's scrambling, he's crashing out. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she went against him. He's crashing out on her. He's crashing out on everybody who Republican. And there's this great division that he's just wide. And he's not just the president of the Republican Party. He's the president of the United States of America, which is now the divided states of America. But we starting to see the light. And so the reason why I always talk about the things I talk about is because when these things happen, we got to be like the Asian community. The Asian community has the lowest voter turnout, but yet they're most insulated because they have the education, they practice collective economics. Now, you don't have to have a post-secondary education to be successful. That's the great thing about this country, is that you don't have to. I don't have, I got a PhD, a public high school diploma, shouty, but I built the largest Black-owned real estate firm in California. I'm a cannabis investor. I'm a real estate investor. I've done some great things without an education. So you don't need the education. You need the financial IQ and wherewithal. And we need to be pulling our funds together so that we can build our communities and be insulated by the bullshit. Because we will. That's what's happening. So this needed to happen because there's a great awakening happening for Black people. I look at it as an advantage for us because we see they are just scrambling and they over there fighting. And that's cool. Let them fight while we build. While they fight, we build. And that's what this is about. This is what it's always about, is us building and nothing more. I don't care about none of that other shit. I care about you, Black people, and us building something strategic and strong together. That's why I come here. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And oh, by the way, I do have a TED Talk. If you've never seen my TED Talk, it's one of the best TED Talks that I've seen. It's called Google That Shit. So if you haven't seen, if this is your first introduction to Constance Carter, I did this TED Talk back in 2020. So if you go there and, you're like, oh, because, I'm a pretty funny person. And so I did a little joke in the beginning and people were like, oh, that didn't land well. Well, there was 10 people in the audience and they were laughing their asses off. So there wasn't a whole lot of laughter because there's only 10 people in the audience because it was COVID. But it's a great TED Talk. It's called Google That Shit. And it's basically part of who I am and what's in my DNA. And that's about closing the wealth gap for Black people. Let me tell you, and we're going to talk about the cannabis in a minute, y'all. But when I think somebody asked me the other day, they were like, when did you become pro-Black? How did you, what happened? And I was thinking back, and it was like when I was in high school is when I first learned who the hell we were as Black people. And I knew our power and our greatness. And ever since then, I've been always an advocate for us. I was the president of the BSU and I wanted to close the grade gap because in my school district, we had a D- GPA in San Jose for Black people in our school district. And oh, by the way, a few years ago, I just ran across this old video. I was inducted into the Hall of Fame in San Jose about some years back. And so that was pretty cool too. Just some random thought. But before we get started, I want to know, because again, like I said, the reason why I come live is because it's a dialogue and not a monologue. So what y'all do this weekend? What did y'all do? So I just want to see who we got here today. First of all, if this is your first time here, put it in chat. It's your first time here. Secondly, where you're watching from, because we have people that watch from all over the world, and I appreciate you. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you right here with me, and we chatting, we chopping it up. So I see you, Deborah Will Win. What's up, gang? Recognized gang, Booker T. What's up, lovely JR? How you doing? And I know my good hating ass troller, Brian Stanklin is here in the building. What's up, Tamisha? Black-owned spice company. What is your website? Oh, Kitten Spice, is that .com? Leon Perkins, first timer from Richmond, Virginia. That's what's up. I appreciate you, cousin. This is my cousin. He's gonna be on the show with me real soon. Charles Terrell, or excuse me, Terrell. He's actually my cousin through marriage. I used to be married to his cousin, and we're still family. So that's a great thing, you know. And I always tell, you know, people from my ex-husband's family, I talk to them all the time, and they're like, just because y'all not together don't mean we can't be still family. And I'm like, listen, our relationship is our relationship. It was never predicated on my marriage. You know, I love y'all. I was in that family since I was 15. I love them. So we still family. That's still my cousin. Anyway, he gonna be on here with me. He actually does some great things in the community for Black men, which I'm really excited about. I'm introducing you to him. I see you, Naomi. I was in NYC over the weekend, baby. I went to a concert. Okay, have you guys ever heard of Tank and the Bangas? So I'm a music head. I actually was introduced to them, I think, around COVID. They did a Tiny Desk. It was so dope. And I went to go see Tank and the Bangas in New York. It was so cool. You guys got to see it. Wait, let me show you. Let me show you Tank and the Bangas. Wasn't that? They are so good. You gotta Tank and the Bangas. You gotta. If you're not up on them, you gotta get up on them. I went to the Blue Note in New York City, and it was so fun. I had a good time. We had a good time. And also, y'all, New York City is not a real place. Y'all want to see what else I saw out there? It's crazy. Let me show you something. That was scary as shit. So it's 1 o'clock in the morning. We see that. It's a whole different song. We feel like we go into like some kind of vortex or something because we coming out and we're going to Times Square and we see that. So we're at Times Square for about an hour and a half. We come back. He's still doing that. Anybody ever seen him in New York City at Times Square? It's crazy. It's crazy. It's scary. They said he used to wear a Batman mask. That was crazy. That was extremely scary. That was 2 o'clock in the morning, and he was nonstop. And wait, he had like look at the top part of his down there, his privates. Uh-oh. Let me show you again. Because when you really, not that one. Let me see. This one. Wait, where's he at? Somebody on Instagram said his coochie was out. It's crazy. It's not a real place. Naomi said they're crazy. I'm sure. But that was the highlight of our night seeing Oh Boy. But we did. I'm gonna visit. I'll be back in a few weeks. I'm gonna come back out there. I have some good friends out there, so we had a good time. But let's go ahead and get started because I do want to talk about how we can make money in cannabis. But before we do that, I showed a little bit of it a minute ago, but I want to show you this video that I just did yesterday. You know, I just did it yesterday. When I was in New York, I was thinking about this. I always just be having these thoughts, and so I was thinking about how the federal government, how we've had the KKK in existence. The KKK has been in existence since right after the emancipation, 1865, and they were birthed to terrorize Black people. And in the 170 years since, they have never been labeled a terrorist organization. Never. But you have all of these other Antifa, you have all these other organizations, the Black Panther Party is for self-defense, labeled terrorist organizations. You got to wonder why. So I want to show you this video I did yesterday, and then we're going to get into the discussion.
Look at the facts. The reality is almost comical if it wasn't so.
Let's go back.
America has an interesting way of deciding who they label a terrorist. Because when you really
That ain't what I wanted to do. I want to take me off stage.
it is almost comical.
Let's go again.
America has an interesting way of deciding who they label a terrorist. Because when you really look at the facts, the reality is almost comical if it wasn't so tragic. Now let me break it down. On one side, you have the Ku Klux Klan. This was a group in 1865 with one goal: terrorize black people. They lynched men, women, and children. They burned down black neighborhoods. They bombed churches. They assassinated black leaders. They ran families off their land. They attacked us in our homes, our schools, our communities. They created nothing. They built nothing. They fed no one. They healed no one. They improved nothing. Their entire purpose was violence, intimidation, and murder. And yet America never labeled them a terrorist organization. Not then, not now. Now, let's look at the group that was labeled an extremist, the Black Panther Party. The Panthers fed children. The KKK hung children. The Panther created free medical clinics. The KKK created dead bodies. The Panthers monitored police to prevent brutality. The KKK was the brutality. The Panthers built community programs that the federal government eventually adopted, including the National Free Breakfast Program for Kids. The KKK burned down the communities where children lived. The Panthers protected black people when no one else would. The KKK terrorized black people because no one would stop them. So explain this to me. How did America look at these two groups and decide the Panthers were the danger? One group was feeding the people, the other was killing the people. But the groups with the guns, the robes, and the bloodstained legacy was somehow seen as patriotic, while the group that wanted equal protection under the law was called a threat. That tells you everything you need to know about how this country interprets black empowerment. Panthers were infiltrated, targeted, and dismantled by COINTELPRO. Their leaders were killed, framed, or imprisoned. Their community programs were sabotaged. They were painted as violence when they were the ones trying to stop the violence. Meanwhile, the KKK, they marched in peace, they recruited in peace, they murdered in peace, they operated in the open, and even had tax-exempt status for years. It's almost as if feeding black children is more threatening in America than killing black families. But here's the truth. Black people have always been the ones building, feeding, teaching, protecting, healing, and uplifting our communities. Even when the system tried to destroy us, we created something powerful. And the legacy of the Black Panthers lives on today in community programs, activists, doctors, lawyers, and leaders who were shaped by their vision. So the question we should be asking is not why the Panthers were labeled terrorists. The question is why the KKK wasn't. Because once you understand that answer, you understand exactly how America sees black power, black unity, and black protection. That's why we tell these stories. Not to live in the past, but to understand the pattern. Because when you know the pattern, you learn how to break it. And when you know the truth, you learn how to transform it. Now drop a black fist in the comments and share this with someone who needs to hear this Black History gem.
So I was thinking about that yesterday, and I was thinking about, how America, you guys try to say that some people say that there's no racism in America. Obama was president. Well, we see that on full display right now, but it's just like every facet in this country, everything that's happened in this country is like for black people, like everything is, they do everything in their power to try to destroy us. The moment we became free, the KKK was birthed. Just to terrorize black people, to murder black people, to stop our progression. We just want y'all to leave us a fuck alone. But you can't even do that. Black people trying to live in peace. Black people trying to do things. So the reason why I wanted to talk about this whole war on drugs, and let's flip the script, because a lot of us have been disproportionately affected by the drug laws. Even after integration. So the thing that killed Black Wall Street for the second time, because Black Wall Street was one of the many affluent communities throughout the country. We had many, okay? And you have organizations like the KKK that were threatened by our progress. And we ain't even doing nothing to y'all. But you had to come over, burn our shit down, along with the federal government. So the reason why those communities died for the final time was because of integration. Because when we no longer had to do business with one another, we stopped doing business with one another. But you still, so then, you have the Red Summer of 1919, where Black people were lynched at record numbers all over the country. But now you have newspapers, you have people seeing this all over the country. And now we're supposed to be the best country in the world, and you're brutalizing your citizens. So it doesn't look good. So here Black people are, okay, we're rebuilding. We still 60s and 70s, we still have great communities. We're still working, we're still providing. Black people, Black power was at an all-time high. Black was beautiful. Our Black communities were thriving. We were doing some great things. Even in the 60s and 70s, we had more Black influence. We had more Black pride, Black unity. We had a lot of Black leaders. Fred Hampton was murdered because he believed that we should reach across the aisles and work with other nationalities to fight the powers that be. That's one of the reasons why he was murdered. So then COINTELPRO's mission was disrupt, destroy, and dismantle the Black Panther Party and other organizations that were bringing together Black unity, that were fighting brutality, that were fighting systematic racism and oppression. That's what was going on. So we had this sort of pride, and Black was beautiful. And you didn't see a whole lot. You saw Black folks working, whether they were blue collar workers, they had homes, they had nice neighborhoods. If you look at Los Angeles in the 50s and 60s, it was beautiful. If you look at Chicago in the 50s and 60s and Detroit in the 50s and 60s, it was beautiful. But then Richard Nixon said, I hate two things. Richard Nixon hated two things. He hated Black people and he hated hippies. Yeah. So actually his top advisor said in 1994 that the war on drugs was never about drugs. It was about destroying the Black community. It was about destroying the hippies, the people who were against the war in Vietnam. That's what birthed the war on drugs. So they knew that Black people and hippies, they like to do, smoke a little weed, so let's criminalize it. And then you have this burst of the prison system that went from 300,000 to 2 million in a matter of years. Now you're criminalizing Black people for doing drugs. And then, oh, by the way, you start infiltrating the community with drugs. Now your CIA is pouring drugs into the community. What a way to destroy the Black community. Gary Webb in 1994, I believe. Gary Webb in 1994, San Jose Mercury News investigative reporter found that the CIA was involved in bringing crack and guns to African-American communities throughout the country, just totally ravaged our community. What happened to Gary Webb? He committed suicide by shooting himself twice in the back of the head. So we know that the CIA is involved in this, right? So you have all of these Black people. Now you have a new Jim Crow. Now you have a new slavery system, because we know the 13th Amendment said slavery is over, except for in the instance of prisons. So now we have 3 times, 4 times, 10 times many slaves than they had during the height of slavery. 300,000 enslaved people during the height of, 300,000. There was only one, I think there was a little bit over 1 million enslaved people during slavery. Before the war on drugs happened, there were 300,000 prisoners. And of course, there was that prison to pipeline to prison as well, because Black people were being imprisoned for little things. They had what's called Black codes, vagrancy laws. If you didn't have a job and you were hanging out at the grocery store, there was even a law that if you looked at a white person threatening, I'm gonna do a video on it. You looked at a white person threatening, you can get convicted of sexual assault. So there was a lady who said that this Black man was looking at her and like this, and she felt threatened, and he went to prison for 2 years as he was waiting his trial, and then they convicted him, but then they ended up overturning it. The NAACP got involved. It made headline news around the world. But he spent 2 years of his life in prison because a white lady. We know, white women, white victims. This is what happens. So we're criminalized because of this war on drugs at crazy numbers. So our communities are destroyed. And then you go, you guys are savages. Why are you out there killing each other? Well, there was reports of pallets of guns just dropped in the middle of the hood. Let's just drop a pallet of guns. And then you have these drugs. And then you criminalize these people. and people become addicted. So then what happens? Now the people who become addicted, they turn into criminals. Now you're criminalizing the people who are sick because of drugs. Now you're criminalizing them. So the prison systems exploded. Then you had Ronald Reagan. He said, I'm gonna pour some gasoline on his war on drugs. Nixon started it. Ronald Reagan exacerbated. He said, you know what? Let's go ahead and make the punishment for crack 100 times worse than a punishment for cocaine. So if you have 5 grams of crack, you're getting 5 years, but you need 500 grams of cocaine to get some time. Why? Because cocaine was a white drug, crack was a black drug. So let's criminalize it even more. But when the face started to change of who the druggies were, when it started going into the suburbs, when it started going into the rural communities, when we seen these people around here nodding off, what happened? Now it's an illness. Now we got to do something. Now we got to help these people. So that's essentially been our story, one of our stories. But then you got to wonder, and this is to my Black folks, you got to wonder why. Why is it that there's such an intentional effort to destroy a certain group of people? Why? There is something special about you, Black people. Not just that you are resilient because we know that you are, not just because you are brilliant because we know that you are, not just because you are intelligent and all the things. There is something in our DNA as Black people that they hate. And they do everything that they can in every different direction to destroy us on every end that they can. And then we've adopted those things. They called us animals. Remember Heavy D said on that song, Self-Destruction, they call us animals. I don't agree with them. I'll prove them wrong. But why did what you're proving them? Take heed before I leave the word I'm saying. Remember that, Self-Destruction? But it's true. They call us animals. You brutalize a people, you murder, maim, you burn them alive, you cannibalize them. They cannibalize Nat Turner. You do all these horrific things. You commit genocide on a whole race of Native Americans. You give them diseases. You plot on them. You have treaties that you just disregard. You do all these things, but yet you call us animals. And yet, with everything that's going on, their food stamps are being taken away because the people who are using food stamps are them. Everything that, they're losing businesses. The farmers are losing businesses. And yet they will still vote for this motherfucker again. Because at least they're getting the brown people out of here. That's what they want to see. They want to see everybody else suffer. But remember on The Color Purple? On The Color Purple, she said, the grave that you dig for me is a grave that you're going to dig for yourself. The grave that these people are digging for everybody else, for Black, for brown people, for who they call terrorists, are the graves that they're digging for themselves. And the chickens are finally coming home to roost. But all I'm saying for us is, I just want to sound the alarm to tell us, wake up. Because for so long, we've adopted these talking points of white supremacists, calling ourselves animals, pointing at each other, look at us. Look at Black people. Why are other people able to come into this country and do better than us? Why are Africans able to come? They Black too. They're able to succeed. But nobody has faced the amount of racism and brutality that African Americans, Black people, foundational Black Americans have faced in the history of this country. When people have trauma, they get therapy. The trauma is in our DNA. And we have not been therapized. And that's the problem. So you expect us to just pick yourself up by your bootstraps when you cut our feet off. We don't even have no bootstraps. We ain't even got no feet. And I'm not saying that we're victims, because we're victors. Because you got to think about, even in spite of all those things that have happened, we still building great communities. We are the purveyors of the culture. Everybody want to be like us. Everybody want to look like us. They want to get our big lips. They want to get our big asses. They want to do all the things and be like Black people. We set the tone for this motherfucker. They want to be like us, but they don't want to be us. They want to oppress us because they just don't got what we got. We got something really special, y'all. So I just want to encourage you today to let you know that you're special. Stop talking down about Black people. Stop saying, I don't want to do business with Black owned businesses. Stop being separate. We are communal by nature, Black folks. So when we talk about, just I got mine, you got to get yours, that capitalistic mentality, we got to get away from that. That's not how we're going to make it as a community. We have to think communal. Black people are communal by nature. That's how we operate. You go to any place in Africa, Black people are communal people. That's who we are innately. We've taken on this rugged, Eurocentric, individualized idea of capitalism. But that African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, you got to go together. And that's what we need to adopt. And that's why I'm here today to encourage you. But I also want to give you some things that you can bite on. But I love, I'm a history buff. That's why I come out with these Black history spotlights all the time, because I love history. And if you really understood history, you'll understand why we are in the position and where we are. Because a lot of us, we just talk shit. Like I stopped following Slim Thug a long time ago because he just talked about where, Black people ain't doing this. And he's doing well. He did very well because he was flipping house. I mean, because he's a rapper, and then he started investing his money. Good for you, brother. You got an opportunity. You did it, but that doesn't mean that everybody else is bad because we can't do it. So I started following him. But he actually liked one of my videos a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, well, maybe he's listening. I hope he changes his mindset, because there's so many people like him that think like Black people ain't doing shit because of the predicament that we are in. White folks will victimize Black people, then blame the victims for being victims. Oh, here you go with your victim. Here you go. I get DMs all the time. You race hustler, you race baiter. No, I'm not a race baiter. I'm telling the truth to my people. Everybody else is unapologetic about their people. When I first got into real estate, when I first became a broker and I was hired one of my first Hispanic agents, I said, okay, so tell me why you're in this business. She said, I want to help my community. That's good. I couldn't in California where I was, it wasn't that kind of talk. I couldn't openly say that I wanted to help my community in the way. We had to be apologetic about wanting to help. Everybody else is unapologetic. Jews say, I don't do business with anybody unless we do business with each other first. They are unapologetic about how they do business. But then when we start talking about self-realization, self-sufficiency, independency from the powers that be, we race baiters, we race hustlers. And that's simply not the case. The reality is we got to look to ourselves first. And once we help ourselves, we put that mask on ourselves, then we can start helping each other. I'm not saying be anti nobody else, but I'm saying there is enough bad against us. I always told my agents, especially the ones that were specifically who were about the community, there's been so much discriminatory practices against Black people. You should never be broke, because Black people need so much help. You should never be broke. You should always have business, because we don't have the education. I don't know if you know, but on average, white people receive $300,000 in generational wealth passed to them, whether it's through real estate. Remember, we were redlined out of real estate, so we didn't get that real estate, or insurance. We're not taking out life insurance like everybody else. So they have, on average, they start off with $300,000 more wealth than we do. We start out in a deficit. Our parents are leaving us bills. We using GoFundMes to bury people. So we have to do better, but it comes with that financial IQ. We got to get our financial literacy up so that we can know what to do. My parents didn't know what to do. Thank God. I used to overhear them saying, we can't do this because we got bad credit. I didn't know what that meant. I just knew bad credit was running our lives, and I never wanted to have it. Ended up having bad credit, ended up having a 379 credit score, filing bankruptcy and doing all of that. And then became a certified credit expert, got books about credit now, help thousands of people with their credit. I have the Grow Your Money Club where I help people increase their financial IQ different ways. Like, my thing is just helping people, because God has blessed me with so much knowledge and information. I paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. Don't get it twisted. I got a PhD, a public high school diploma. I don't have a post-secondary education, but I have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars into my personal and professional development. That's why I have what I have. That's why I built the largest Black owned real estate firm in California, because I understood how to be a leader. I took leadership training. I know how to be a leader, not a boss. I know how to I know how to inspire people to want to do more. I invested in cannabis. That's what we're going to talk about. I'm a cannabis investor. I own a cannabis dispensary in Stockton, California. I invested. I know how to write books. I show other people how to write books. I invest in stock. I invest in life insurance. I invest in businesses. These are things that I've done, that I've poured into myself, that I've paid for the training, but that I also give to other people. Because one of the things that Zig Ziglar said is, if you could help other people could become successful, then you too then could be successful. And this is what I teach all my kids. It's all about who you help. And the more people that you help, the more people, the more you'll be blessed, but you'll be fulfilled. I know fulfillment don't pay the bills, but God is going to give you the increase as you are helping other people. So when you think about your purpose, think about, how can I really help people? How can I effectuate change in somebody else's life? That's the biggest thing. So let's go back to the cannabis, because we've seen all these things happen. We've seen the economic fallout of what's happened in this country. How we're in this. A lot of us are in this situation now. Some of us are privileged. I happen to live in an area where there's a lot of Black privilege, and I think that is amazing. I live in an area where people are able to trace their roots back to George Washington's plantation. I think that's so dope, because I can only go back a few generations. I love genealogy too. So I can only go back to, I actually, on one of my lines, I go back to the 1700s, right after the Revolutionary War. I had some free people of color in one of my lines. But outside of that, a lot of Black folks just don't have that history. So there are Black people who have had privileges. And I despise when I hear people say that, successful Black people are cosplaying. Jasmine Crockett is cosplaying because she's had a great education. When white people will say that, and stupid ass Judge Joe Brown says some stupid ass shit like that. Like, this lady she's not trying to be ghetto. She's just being who she is. She's a Black woman. She's an educated Black woman. She went to school, and she got a quick tongue, and I love that about her. But Black people, we are not a monolith. But a good portion of us have been victimized by the system. And so how do we take advantage of the fact that we've been victimized? So we have these privatized prisons that have made millions of dollars off of Black bodies. Longer profits meant longer sentences. Black families are broken down because a lot of us don't have men in the family. A lot of us, there's this ratio of men versus women. And then you have, social media and AI exacerbating that. The Great Divide, Willie Lynch division. Come on. So we have to start changing the conversations within each other. Do you know anybody who talks like that? Do you know anybody who says, I don't want to go to the Cheesecake Factory? Do you know anybody that really is hating Black women, or I don't know those people. So maybe you do. I don't know Black professional women who fight on, like they do on reality TV. I don't know any of those things. I don't. But this is all exacerbated and by social media, this magnified. And that's just not who we are. Okay. So let's talk about how to take advantage of the cannabis. So let me just tell you my cannabis story. So I really didn't really have an interest. So one of the things I know is when I was one of the top REO brokers in 2008. When the 2008 crash hit, I was one of the top REO brokers. That's foreclosure brokers. I used to do 300-400 transactions a year, and Stockton, California was the epicenter for the foreclosure crisis. At that same time, 2009 was when I filed bankruptcy. 2008, I'm a top real estate broker. My house is in default. I have more month than money. I filed bankruptcy, y'all, that year. And I remember just selling all these homes, and I couldn't even, and I see all these people, especially from the Silicon Valley, that were coming into our communities, and they were buying up these homes that were $300,000. And now they were $50,000. They were using their 401ks to buy up these homes. I was just like, oh my God, $300,000 homes were now $50,000, and I couldn't take advantage of it. And I knew at that point, I would never be in a position where I couldn't take advantage of an opportunity that I wanted to again. And so I was at a conference. I was at this white conference. It was just me and his brother. I forget his name. I think we Facebook friends, but he owned a bunch of Five Guys out in Memphis. I forget his name. But I remember he and I were talking during the break, and he was like, I want to get into the cannabis game. And I was like, well, tell me about it. He said, well, millions of us Millions of Black people have been criminalized, have been jailed from drugs, from cannabis. They're still in jail to this day. But now you have these white boys who are making billions of dollars on the same thing, and they're getting, now it's legalized. And I was like, ooh. And you know what I did? All I did is speak it into existence. I didn't do anything. I said, I want to invest in cannabis. That's it. That's all I said is I want to invest in cannabis. And because I had made some other really good investments, flipping houses and investing in stock and investing in Robinhood and doing all these things, have money. And somebody called me, a good friend of mine. She's like, hey, Constance, I got a line on the cannabis dispensary. I didn't even ask no details. I was like, I'm in. I said, listen, how much of a investment do I need to make? And it was a 6-figure investment. I said, where do I write the check? And so to this day, this cannabis dispensary, what it does for my children, because it doesn't go to me, what it does for my children is the dividends that I receive from there, I put it into a vehicle, permanent life insurance vehicle that generates compound interest. So that's in a trust for my children. So that's passive income that I get. If I need to use it, I'm gonna use it. But that's for my children. That's something that I was able to invest in. Now, I can't tell you that because people always say, oh, first of all, people be like, oh, you in cannabis? Oh, I got some good, I don't know nothing about it. Listen, I just go and I collect my money. I used to just go up in there, collect big old wads of money, and then I would run to the car. Now they wire me the funds, but I don't know anything about cannabis. I don't partake like that. I went there a couple of months ago. They gave me some gummies and some stuff like that. And I've tried it one time just to, get some sleep, but I'm not a big, I don't do that. I grew up around it, and I just was never interested in it. I just like being in my right mind. So I don't do cannabis, but so that's how I got into it. I really just set the intention and an opportunity presented itself and I was able to invest. Now, I can't tell you how to start a cannabis dispensary. I'm just an investor in that business. And I go and I collect my money and that's pretty much it. I'm not, I don't actively participate, but I go there and they're very nice to me. And, I go and let them know I'm one of the owners every now and then. And, they give me all the goods and stuff. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's a great space. If you're in around Stockton, California, go to Zen Garden 209. Zen Garden 209, I think we're on Instagram, but Zen Garden is our cannabis dispensary. Okay. So that was my investment in cannabis. Everybody can't pay $100,000. Everybody can't invest $100,000. And I understand that, but there are other ways that we can get into it. There's stock. Okay. So there are stock that you can invest in. So let me just give you a few of the stock and I'm going to put it on the screen. And perhaps if you really want to invest in some cannabis stock, here's some good cannabis stock. Do I sell what? I don't sell weed. Yeah, I am a dope dealer. I guess I am a drug dealer. I do sell dope. I sell weed. But here's some cannabis. Oh, the King of Bakersfield. I don't know Unity Church in Stockton. I've never been there. I used to go to Victory and Praise in Stockton. So here's some of the cannabis stock that you can invest in. Okay. Some other things that you can invest in. So if you want to start, if you really want to be a part of the cannabis business, you want to, maybe you want to invest in real estate that have grow houses. You can lease properties to operators and they're going to pay a lot more. You can actually charge them a lot more. So you can get some warehouses where they have grow houses and you could be a part of the cannabis industry that way. You could also do CBD products. So you could do skincare, you could do edibles and oils. That's a way to get into the cannabis game. Everybody can't own a dispensary. I get that, but there's other things that you could do. Now, cannabis has a huge need for marketing agencies. Like if you are in marketing, cannabis businesses have a huge need. Okay. There are other ways. So I remember at a conference that I had in 2019, I had a wealth empowerment conference. I had Dr. George Fraser, Lisa Nichols there, and I had some speakers, but the main investor in my cannabis dispensary, he came and spoke. And one of the things he said is he was talking about different ways you can invest. And he was like, you could dispose cannabis because they have a shelf life. And there's a company, you could have a company where you're actually disposing of cannabis. So, the cannabis that, gets stale or whatever, you can't sell it. That's a whole, you have to have some type of certifications like hazmat certifications, but you have to know how to handle the cannabis. Okay. Cannabis friendly packaging companies. delivery services. You could have a delivery service for cannabis. You could have other like ancillary services. I have a person who I used to work with. She does cannabis accounting. If you're an accountant, maybe that's you want to be. You want to have a specialty in that. The thing about like having a specialty is like when we talk about having a business, I talk about getting rich in your niche, being very clear and specific about the people that you work with. So if you are in accounting and maybe you want to just have a niche, maybe it's a cannabis. Okay. Workshops, certifications, consulting. You can do all of those things inside the cannabis space as well. So those are some opportunities for you to invest. So you see the stock, and then there's some other ancillary items that you can invest in. Also, I don't know if you know, but back in the days, folks were locked up for LSD and mushrooms. Now there's a thing called psychedelic therapy. It's the next multi-billion-dollar wellness industry. I don't know if you know. The shrooms. Everybody doing the shrooms now. Scared of the shrooms. But folks is doing it. They have psychedelic therapy centers. In fact, you don't have to do the business. We're getting ready to lease a space out in Baltimore to a young lady, which I love her concept. You know what? I'm gonna have her on here one day. I'm gonna have a conversation with her when we get the lease signed. But she's over a wellness center, and she's just a young lady, and she has gynecologists in there. She has nurse practitioners. She does everything with wellness, nails, hair, like it's all like not hair, but nails, teeth whitening, all the things. Yoni, I think she's probably doing that too, but all the things around women's wellness. So you can own a center, but you don't have to be the person that's doing the treatments. You can hire psychologists that could do psychedelic therapies. You could do wellness retreats. I don't know if you're into it. You could do wellness retreats, and you could have the shrooms. You could do courses and coaching and mental health programs around this because it's legal in most places. Here's the thing: the Black people were so pushed out of this conversation, but then there's therapy and healing and wellness. They're going to be really huge wealth generators for us. So think about that. Okay. Now that we have the opioid crisis, now pharmaceutical companies, they're profiting from the cure and the problem. They're not jailing people anymore. So let's look at some biotech companies that you can invest in. Invest in individual pharma stocks. There's AI medical research companies. These are things that are Googleable. There are manufacturing REITs. I'm going to be talking about real estate investment trust. I do the Grow Your Money masterclass every Tuesday. So tomorrow I'm not going to be live. I'm going to be inside the Grow Your Money masterclass where I'm going to be talking about how to invest in real estate with little or no money down. But I'll also be talking about REITs in a couple of weeks. I think I'll be talking about REITs next week. What is a REIT? How do you invest in REITs? So I'm going to be teaching you how to do that as well. Okay. So if you don't know, let me see. I know I have a flyer in here somewhere. Is this the one? Nope, that ain't it. Oh, shoot. I don't have a flyer in here for my next masterclass. But I do want you guys to sign up. So go to gymmasterclass.com if you want to be a part of the masterclass series. I have a bunch of them that are already lined up throughout the end of the year where I'll be talking about different things of how to grow your money and not blow your money. And these are absolutely free. They're free for the people who take the training live, and then they're going to be a part of the Grow Your Money Club. And then if you only get to watch the replay, because these are actual trainings that people pay for if you're inside the Grow Your Money Club. So if you sign up tomorrow, or if you sign up and you take it live with me tomorrow, I got a flyer I'm putting up in here right now. You take it, it's free for you. But if you are not on here live tomorrow, then you have to watch the replay inside the Grow Your Money Club. So this is only for people, and only people that really watch me are going to know about this. So tell your friends and your family. Tomorrow I'm going to be teaching a class on how to purchase a home with little to no money down. That's tomorrow at 8 a.m. Pacific. 9. I got that time wrong. 9 Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. So it's going to be 12 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Pacific. I'll be teaching how to purchase a home, but every Tuesday. But I'll be talking about REITs. I just wanted to tell you that I will be talking about REITs and how to invest in that. But there are some cannabis REITs that you can invest in. So think about that. The thing about it is we're not benefiting from these markets simply because we don't know how they work. And that's the thing that we really need to understand. When addiction was Black, we got jail. When addiction became white, they created treatment centers. These facilities are booming financially. So, ways that you can invest in real estate for treatment, real estate for treatment centers. You can be the owner of the business. You can partner with therapists to form outpatient clinics. You can do online addiction support platforms. You can do workforce development programs for people in recovery, and those you can get government contracts for. Mm. Think about hemp, the hemp industry and agricultural investments. It does far more than just get people high. It creates jobs and products in textiles, in construction materials, plastics, cosmetic, foods, manufacturing. Black farmers, we were pushed out of agriculture for over 100 years. Now, Black people are re entering hemp farming, and there's a massive opportunity for Black farmers in that space. Okay. Um, Criminal justice. If you know how to get expungement, I have somebody inside the Net 7. I have women from all walks of life that do different things. And inside the Net 7 Collective, we have a young lady who does expungement services. That is an opportunity for you to help people who had drug crimes on their record, and you can help get them off. If you're a paralegal, you can do doc prep. You could start an advocacy organization, reentry programs. You can do housing for returned citizens. You know what? There is an agent that I have in my that works for me. She just started I'm gonna have her on here. She just started a group home, and I'm gonna have her on here maybe next Monday. Her name is Taisha. I'm gonna have her on here so she could talk about how to start a group home, because I really want you guys. Now, you know what? I'll have her on. Actually, I'll have her on the Grow Your Money gym masterclass. That's what I'll do. I'll put her on the gym masterclass so we could talk about how to start your group home. So that'll be sometime within the next month or so. Okay. So these are impact businesses, and they're wealth businesses, so that you can make an impact in the community, and you could also create wealth. Okay. Maybe you do content creation. You can empower people by teaching them how drug policies destroy Black wealth, giving people information. This is what I do. I monetize on YouTube, on Instagram, even though Instagram gave me 38 cents. On Facebook I monetize, but I'm just giving information. And the beautiful thing is I'm able to monetize that. Well, maybe you have some information that you want to give somebody on this very topic. Perhaps that you can monetize off of that. Maybe you could become a speaker. And that's one of the things that I do inside the Net 7 Collective is I teach women how to become speakers, how to get paid speaking, how to just turn that into a business. Something that you can do. If you're a Black woman and you are interested in doing that, talk to me. Go to my website, go to constancecarter.com, take a look at what Net 7 Collective is about, because I would really like to talk to you if that's something that you wanted to do. If you wanted to create a new business, I'd like to talk to you about that. You could be a part of our inner circle. Okay. They use drugs to destroy our community, y'all. Now we can use the legal industries around drugs to rebuild our wealth. We don't have to be criminalized. We can actually be capitalized. So that's what I want you to take away from today's conversation is how do we flip the script and really turn this into something that we can really benefit from? Remember I said in the beginning, the enemy meant for bad, God made for good. And that's the reason why I come here live every day, is because I really want you to understand that all the things that happen to us, we still have opportunities. We still live in a country that pretty much can give us opportunities. And we don't have to be beat down by the system any longer. We could take advantage of these things that were ideally put against us. Maybe they'll try to come burn down our communities. I live in one of the most affluent Black communities in the country, in Maryland. The average, so in my community, 89% of the people who live here, all of these homes are $1 million homes. 89% of the people who live in the community are Black, and they all make, good 6-figure incomes. Okay. And what did President Trump do when he first got into office? He gutted the federal government. Well, most of the people who work for the federal government were Black people. And so they will try to destroy whatever we make. It's okay, because we're resilient and we rebuild. Okay. And it's okay. So don't worry about, because I know every time people often say, well, why should we do it? Because they're going to come try to destroy it anyway. And we rebuild anyway. And we get stronger and we get bolder. But what we have to stop doing is being afraid. And we have to stop using their talking points to talk down to ourselves. Okay. So I have, so I'm going to have Taisha come and she's going to talk about how to do the group home. So we'll talk about that inside the gym masterclass. But I want to just implore you and encourage you to take advantage of these opportunities. There's so many out there right now. I'm teaching the ladies in Net 7 Collective how to create their own merchandise and how to do drop shipping and create their own businesses, other revenue streams. It's crazy. Let me tell you, these women, these are women who knew that they were called to do more. They wanted to change their lives. They just didn't know where to start. They came to the Net 7 Collective because they needed collaboration. They needed accountability. They needed motivation, and they needed tools to actually make it happen. And that's what I do. Remember, I said I pour into myself. I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on my personal and professional development. And that's the reason why I made millions of dollars. It's the reason why I've been able to create a successful business, because I'm not afraid to invest in myself. And inside my groups that I coach and I teach, inside the Grow Your Money Club and all the things that I do, you're going to get everything that I pour myself into. You're going to get more. So if you're a Black woman or you know a Black woman and you want to be a part of that inner circle, I'm starting the next cohort, the 2026 cohort in January. So if this is something that you might be interested in, holla at me. Go to my website, go to net7collective.com. Listen, we have a community of doctors and lawyers and IT professionals and scientists and real estate professionals. We have people who are performers. We have movie directors, admin assistants, stay-at-home moms, engineers, architects, activists. We got a lady in our group who hijacked a plane, went on the lam, was part of the Black Panthers, and did, I think, 19 years in federal penitentiary. And it came out and is killing it, helping reentry, women in reentry, buying property. She got real estate in Georgia. She got real estate in the Bay Area. Did 20 years, almost 20 years in federal penitentiary. She has a play coming up. Her name is Miss Ida McCrae. And there's a play, if you are in around San Francisco, California, go see her play. It is December 13th at the Bayview Opera House. And I forget what it's called, but she's a part of Net 7. So these women, that's the secret sauce, is the caliber of women in here. If you want to be surrounded with women like that, I suggest you go to my website, go to net7collective.com, because they get all those things and more. Everything that I've taught them how to do. They didn't just start businesses, they grew them, they scaled them by 58%. They added additional revenue streams. They started investing in real estate. I got all kinds of people. So I'm going to do some story time so that you can know, some of the things that these ladies are doing out in the world. I showed them how to launch podcasts. I'm seeing them on their line. They doing a podcast. They building their merch businesses. They're doing their e-commerce stores. It's crazy. Some of them have even walked away from their 9-to-5s and became full-time entrepreneurs. But the secret sauce inside that Net 7 Collective is the sisterhood. It's the collaboration. It's the caliber of women. Not the smartest tool in the shed, right? I know what I know. I've invested in myself. I know what I know very well. But now you have other women who are willing to pour into you as well. And that's the dope thing about the community that I've created. And so again, we start our next cohort in 2026, January 2026. So if you are interested, go to my website, go to net7collective.com, because I want the best Black women. And there's an African proverb that says, if you teach a man, when you teach a man, you teach an individual, but when you teach a woman, you teach a nation. And that's not anything against Black men, but this is my charge and my call to help Black women, because when you help Black women, you help the Black family. I'm not trying to separate us. This is my mission. Okay. This is my ministry. My passion, my purpose is Black women. But I really believe that when you help Black women, you help the Black family, because we are the backbone of the Black family. And we need to do something to change the trajectory of our futures. And that's the reason why I do what I do every single day. So if you are interested, go to my website. You can go to my website, ConstanceCarter.com, and click Net 7 Collective, or you can go to Net 7 Collective, or you can go to net7bbs.com. Either way, I want you to go there and I want you to get acclimated. And so if you go and you sign up, what you're going to do is you're going to sign up for a one-on-one meeting with me, so I can see if we can see if it's a mutually beneficial situation. Because for me, and I'm not an elitist, but all money ain't good money. What do I mean? I want somebody, what you're not going to do is come inside the community and be disruptive, number one. But number two is not work. And so I want people who are going to make a difference and an impact, who really want to change their lives and that change their family's life. So we got to make sure that it's mutually beneficial. So we'll have a conversation. You and I will sit together and do a one-on-one to see how we can help you to grow your business, grow your net worth, because that's the whole point, is helping Black people to grow their net worth by 7 figures. I don't know if you know, it was 1 in 50 Black families, but now it's 1 in 25. I think Black families have a 7-figure net worth, while 1 in 7 white families, they've had the generational wealth. They didn't have the predatory lending. They're passing $200,000 to $300,000 in wealth to the other generations. They've had 400 years of free labor. They got 40 million acres of land in the Homestead Act. They've been given. And for the ones who aren't successful, the white folks is poor, I feel sorry for you. You ain't did something right, because you sitting on all that privilege. You still ain't got shit. That's why they mad. That's why most poor white people are mad at us. That's the reason why they voted for Trump, because he spoke their language. They're upset because your Black ass is getting more educated. You making your money, and they've had this privilege that they've had for 400 years. They still broke. So let them be mad. Let them hate. Our ancestors were one of the strongest people. We stand on the shoulders of giants, and here we are. We're going to do even better. We're going to make our ancestors proud. They went through what they went through. So we just got to, we got to keep it going, and we got to elevate. That's what I'm here for. I'm all about elevation. So if you want to work with me in any way, in any capacity, Net7 Collective, go to ConstanceCarter.com and go to my website. I'm happy to have a conversation with you. Also, if you are a white woman, man, boy, girl, Black man, whoever, you are welcome to be a part of my Grow Your Money Club. Okay. What is the Grow Your Money Club? It's where I pour all my training, all the teaching. It's an online community where it's self-paced, where you can kind of just do it on your own. So if you don't know anything about the Grow Your Money Club, you can actually join the Grow Your Money Club. While everybody else is out here blowing their money, you about to be growing your money. How? Inside the Grow Your Money Club, this is your one-stop wealth building training hub designed to help you build, grow, invest, and diversify your income. You have the credit bundle, which is going to help you to increase your credit IQ with business credit, personal credit, with the credit repair masterclass. And then you have the real estate bundle. This is where we're going to show you how to invest in tax deeds, land banks, how to buy a house separately from your spouse, the Living Trust ebook, and from Campus Cash Flows, showing your children how to become real estate investors. In the investor bundle, you're going to learn how to invest using Robinhood, the investor success formula, and the wealth map 6-phase blueprint that shows you how to build, grow, and invest your money. And finally, the business builder bundle. This is where we show you how to establish your entity and build business credit, how to obtain government contracts, how to create jaw-dropping video content, how to write and publish your best-selling book, and even how to bring your idea to life. You can purchase each training a la carte, get the bundle that fits your goals, or unlock the 12-month roadmap, which is your full access pass to every single training inside the Grow Your Money Club. While they're spending, you stacking. While they're watching, you winning. Join the Grow Your Money Club today. I'll show you how to do those videos just like that inside the Grow Your Money Club. I did that. I did the videos I do, my Black History Spotlights, I do them myself. Taught my son how to do them. These are things that I show you, real tangible things that you can do to put in your arsenal, to create content, to build your businesses, to invest in real estate, stock, cannabis, or whatever. So I miss you too, Tiara. Oh my God, I miss you. Anaya says she has a marketing firm. I need to know, how do we get in contact with your marketing firm, sis? It's not, listen, I just don't want to know you got a marketing firm. How do we contact you? How do we do business with you? So please put it in the chat. All right, please put it in the chat. I'm gonna just go through some of the questions, and then I'm gonna get out of here, because guess what? Catalyst Real Estate Professionals, which is I am the broker of, we have a meeting like right now, and I'm 5 minutes behind. Do you have to sign up every week? So yeah, if you go to gymmasterclass.com, there is a link for each class. So I have the classes for the next 4 weeks in there. And so it'll be different ones. You're gonna have to sign up for each class individually, unfortunately, because it's on StreamYard is the thing that I use. So yeah, you're gonna have to, you don't automatically get in, so you will have to sign up for all of them. But if you go to Gym Masterclass, the ones for up until the end of the year, the trainings up until the end of the year are up there, and you can sign up for all of them right now. So tomorrow is going to be how to purchase property, little or no money down. All right. Michelle says she's on her way. Listen, I welcome you, sis. You're gonna be surrounded by some real good sisters. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope that you can join us. Okay. Um, I listen, Black Panther, he said something about some cigars. Hold on. Um, I think I know a good female that will be a good fit. So holler, tell her to holler at me. Please do. Um, okay, I thought I saw some more questions. I don't want to hear something about the Democrats. This stupid motherfucker. I don't know who that is on here. Um, Black people are the most powerful people on planet Earth. Deborah, I love Deborah. Girl, y'all don't even know. I don't know if y'all know. When I be on here with April, Deborah Will Win came on here twice. Deborah Will Win looks just like this. And she's a great grandma, which is crazy. And she said integration was the worst thing that could have happened to the Black community. Oh, he said we have been brainwashed to believe that America is racist, and that's what a lot of them believe. Y'all, don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. So this person is on here. He's saying a whole lot of stuff about Democrats, but he said we have been brainwashed to believe that America is racist. Not that we don't have hundreds of years of evidence all up and through the fiber and the DNA of America, but we've been brainwashed to believe only through our experiences. Dummy. Virginia had the biggest Black laws. Wow. We need to normalize investing in assets in our 20s and 30s. Come on. And that's what I'm trying to teach my kids, y'all. I'm excited about the next generation. I'm excited about my kids. Like, oh my God, I just don't want to. Oof, my kids are great. I just love them so much. Read the book, the Delectable Negro book by Vincent Woodard. All right, I'm gonna put that in my reading thing. Oh, by the way, we got to stop demoralizing each other, Black people. I have another book coming out, and it's coming out in February. I have a couple of books coming out. So I do have, based on my experience, I have a new book called Taken Without Notice. And it is based upon the rise of deed theft in this country and how to fight back. So I don't know if you know, but I had a situation that in real time just happened to me. And the judge just ruled in my favor the Friday before last. So a guy tried to steal my property, a guy who had a situation with Kevin Spacey, and he's been stealing a lot of Black wealth all throughout Maryland. And he tried to steal my property, me of all people. Like, so he came across the wrong one. The property, it got overturned, which is great. But now I need to educate people on it, because what's happened is a lot of folks, a lot of people, I'm trying to find my other book too. A lot of people have come out, and there have been so many victims of this guy. And so I just want to bring the awareness of what's going on. And so I just give you some solutions of really, and the book is all done, but I'm not going to be releasing it until the February 1st, but you can actually purchase the pre-order right now. And I'm really excited about it, but I'm really excited about just getting the word out. I'm going to be on MG, the Mortgage Guys podcast, I think on Friday, and we're going to be talking about it. And he's part of Earn Your Leisure. So I'll be talking about this deed theft on Friday, I believe, at 11. And then, so I'll send you guys, I'll put it on my Facebook page, and I'll try to stream it out to this channel as well. But I'm going to be, my new book is about that. I also have another book that I'm getting ready to release. It's called The Ramp Method. And some of you are already have this book. Some of you, because I mentioned it. Now it's not, let me see, is this it? Oh no, that's the deed book. It's not out yet. I mean, it's for sale, but I haven't released it yet to the public. So if you wanted to do the ramp, is this it? It is, yes, it's coming soon. I mean, it's out. It's out. I actually have a small group inside GroupMe for people who've purchased the book. I think there's about 25, 30 women in there who are actually going through the 21 days right now. And it is just, it's transformational. And this ramp, the reason why I came out with this is because this is the thing that actually transformed my life when I was going through it. When I was, when I moved out here to Maryland from California, I just went through a lot, divorce and just a bunch of shit. And I had to reset. And this was my reset. And I ended up, doing the strategies that I talk about inside this book, and it changed my life. Net 7 Collective was birthed out of it. Just so many things has happened as a result of this. And so um, right now, I'm actually doing the 21 days with the ladies inside. But you see, the girls, you got braids like me. And it's not just for women, it's for everybody. And it's not just for Black people, it's for everybody. If you really want to reset your life, if you want to get unstuck, and if you want to get clear on your next, on your purpose. And I'm going to have a whole series of rant books coming out on this too. But if you really want to get clear on your purpose, you can get this book. And like I said, I haven't released it, but if you want to get it early, it's a great book. And you could actually join the reset with us. And if you get the book and you want to be a part of our small group that's actually doing the work right now, we just started it last week. You're more than welcome to just shoot me a DM inside Instagram at I am Constance Carter if you want to be a part of the small group. The whole purpose of the small group is I just want to see in real time the miracles that are going to happen in people's lives, because I know, I'm so confident, because they've happened in my life based upon this methodology that I used. So if you're interested, it's on Amazon right now. But again, like I said, I didn't release it. I'm going to release it in December, like officially out there. But y'all know, because y'all rocking with me on the page. So this is the ramp journal. So it's a journal, and it's going to change your life. All right. I'm 12 minutes late to my meeting. But I'm gonna get up out of here. Internet is not real life. The father was a pastor. Okay, hold on. She said, do you have to sign up every week? Oh, you said that. I already answered that question. All right, I'm new here, so I'm tapping in all the way. All right, bet, Michelle. Tap in, baby. All right, y'all. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. For those of you who sign up for the masterclass, absolutely free for you to be a part of it, but it will be a part of the Grow Your Money Club. For those who don't take the free training, you'll be able to purchase the training on the Grow Your Money Club, inside the Grow Your Money Club, as an a la carte training. Or if you join the entire club, you can have access to all of them. All right. I'll see you tomorrow. If you're a part of this training, see you tomorrow. All right, y'all.